Wow, right out of the gate, these turrets hit a lot harder than I thought they would. Then you can turn around and buff them, and then they just get outrageous. I mean, the amount of damage is absolutely off the hook. I could not believe that Jayber could do that. I mean, look at that. That is crazy. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. We're going to show you how to build this guy. We're going to show you how to get him to a point where he can take you through any content solo. I don't care if it's 400% dungeons. How to lock things down, lock areas down, keep everything from coming your way. We'll show you some gameplay of this as well. So sit back and relax and let us take you through this. As promised, we're going to jump right onto the build. Start off with the modules. We are using attacking compulsion. When using skill summons an assault turret, the summoned turret operates in the same way as the existing assault turret. We're going to be looking at building cooldown and building duration to try and get it so we can just keep spamming the skill as often as we like. When one goes down, we pull another one up. If we want to cancel one, it'll immediately be available. We can redeploy. This is the idea. To be honest, as you can see from the gameplay, I was thoroughly shocked at the effectiveness of this. Certainly, it works well in areas where you're trying to lock down an area, a particular area, like in the Albion resource protection missions in the fortress and other places. So that's really effective. But also in missions, you can throw them down real quickly, kind of back up a little bit, protect yourself and with those and they, as you can see, they took care of the ads very quickly. So even in 400% content, it makes it manageable to clear the activities on your own. Certainly you could opt for some more survivability and some other options as we talk about it. But as you can see from the gameplay we've been rolling now and what we rolled before, certainly able to manage the ads with this build. So let's jump on into it. Obviously, we want to boost the power of the build as well, and he has very little critical hit rate, so we're not focusing on that at all. We're actually staying away from critical hit rate and critical hit damage entirely, using focus on dimension to give us some cooldown and some power, and then also dimension amplification to give us some additional power. The penalty to critical hit rate is not hurting us, and then focus on non-attribute. Again, to boost the power and get some cooldown, and then non-attribute amplification to also boost that skill power and reduce that critical hit damage. These are dimension skills that we're launching. These two devices are dimension skills. So that is why we're using dimension and then non-attribute, because his whole kit's non-attribute. In addition to that, for additional cooldown, we are going with MP conversion, skill cooldown minus 36.5%. We take a slight hit to MP, but you can see from the gameplay, managing the MP is not really an issue for this character. And then nimble fingers for further cooldown. Now, you could opt for not using this cooldown and instead, using one less and putting more health out there if you want some survivability. But I haven't really seen that be a huge issue. If it is for you, then certainly you can opt for that, and it'll get you through the content a little bit more comfortably. So let's talk about the next bit. So we are going to look at expanding the range, skill effect range. This makes the circle bigger. Now we can only get that up to 200%. So that's if you look at the skills there at the bottom here, it says max expandable range 200%. So we can't go any further than the 200%. Focusing on any more expansion wouldn't be helpful because we're already at 11.5, almost at 200% mark. 6 would be 12, but if we go any further, we're going to lose some to the fact that it's capped. So instead of worrying about that, let's talk about duration. Duration is good, so anytime we can extend the duration, that's going to help us, and then we get more duration by MP accelerant as well, and we get a little bit more max MP. So these two kind of help us kind of offset the MP conversion penalty that we were talking about earlier. If we do look at the abilities now with the cooldown here, we're at 5.1 seconds for the cooldown on this one, and 5.1 seconds cooldown on that one. So we got great cooldown duration. 15.7 seconds, so we've got 3 times the duration of the cooldown. So certainly you could, like I said, sacrifice a little bit here and there if you wanted to. I do find this makes it easier to set one, cancel it, or if it gets killed real quickly, be able to deploy another one and just keep rolling with those devices. But you know, it's up to you, obviously. We will now dive into the reactor and the components. So he is a dimension. So non-attribute dimension is what you want to be looking for. I've been rolling with Enduring Legacy. I think if you've been watching my videos, it's definitely my favorite. I have Secret Garden on this because I used this for one of the other Descendants, but you know, you could roll Greg's Reverse Fate on there. That's a good synergy there as well. Whatever works for you. But I find Enduring Legacy is pretty powerful. So as you can see in this particular one, our skill cost, we're getting a reduction in skill cost, which is helpful to us, so we can keep spamming that skill. And we're getting another boost to our dimension skills, so this makes it really positive. So these are two decent rolls. You know, you could get dimension and non-attribute, for instance, that make it more powerful. You could get a little bit of range, maybe to bump up the range without sacrificing any more mods. So there's a couple of options there that you could be looking for, but I'm happy with this one. And then we start talking about the components. I did opt for the Slayer set. Slayer set gives us a little bit more boost to our power. Gives us more general rounds. Gives us more rounds per magazine. Gives us a boost in skill power. We do take a hit to skill cost, but like I said, it's not really impacting us. We're certainly able to continue to roll with our skills, particularly in that kind of content. There's mana lying around and 400% content. But in general, I have seen this be very comfortable. You could opt for, getting a bit more duration by going with 2-piece Annihilator and maybe 2-piece something else to give you either the general round capacity here with Slayer or some additional shields or health, whatever you want to roll into. But this is the mix that I chose. In terms of the weapons, let's talk about this. We are using Enduring Legacy. I am using the fire particular setting that I have for this. This is the mods that I'm using. Why we're using the fire again, just for those who haven't explored this already. The unique ability, on hitting an enemy, increases the status effect trigger rate corresponding to the element fire, chill, electric, toxic. So no matter what you're using, whether you're using fire, chill, electric, toxic, it's going to increase that status effect. So you're going to get a boost from that regardless, right? That status effect is a +6 on hit. So it's going to be powerful. But if you use the fire, quenching on the target enemy, on hitting a burned enemy, increases fire ATK and applies this buff to the attack. So you can see down below there where it talks about that quenching duration 0.4 seconds, max stacks 50, fire resistance comes down by 5%, and fire per stack 0.8, and the firearm ATK jumps up by 11%. So this is a big buff. It would be better if we were a fire descendant, obviously, but even without that, the fact that it has fire rolled on the gun makes it good for anyone. So this is why we chose this. So that is it for the weapons and the build. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.